And I thought that was just kind of one of the things that players talk about. They regularly say, oh, this character's great, and then you never really see it break into competitive play. But here, we've seen an insane amount of Crixie over the past few days.
Yeah, and here we go. The bans looking like they're starting to come out here. Singapore had the first choice for the ban, and it looks like it's going to be the Grak, your boy.
I'm very sad. I feel defeated internally. But the fact that they ban out the Grak versus a player like Moss is exactly what you should be doing, and that gives me hope. Singapore have done their research.
Yes, sir. I mean, Moss's Grak did so much work in the boot camp, and Thailand returning with the Superman ban.
I like this as well.
Yeah, Singapore answering back with the Scud ban.
Scud is also a target ban remix, kind of premiered Scud in competitive play, at least at the Thailand boot camp. We didn't really see Scud outside of Thailand and outside of the time meta up till that point. So, to me, I'm excited again because Singapore know what to do. They've done their homework.
They exactly took the words out of my mouth. They have done their homework.
Was that painful?
It was a little bit painful, but I put it back together. Don't you worry about it. RM also getting banned on the Singapore side and Omen over on Thailand side.
Omen just a solid... It's very interesting. Thailand are just banning standard. They don't know what to expect from this Singapore team, so they're getting rid of Superman, getting rid of Omen, Arms out of the pool. I'd expect, yep, Zenial to come through as the third ban. These are everything, or this is everything that you just want to get rid of if you don't quite know what to face. It's a very good baseline.
Yeah, and Singapore, as we mentioned, every single one of their bans there are target bans specifically for Thailand. They have definitely done their homework here, and now they're taking away the Lindis from Thailand as well.
Thailand really like to run the Lindis in their jungle, so Singapore getting it is great.
Right, and look at this. Thailand, maybe... Are they really thinking about...
I would be so upset with the... So, Arthur is not good. Many people...
Oh my god.
Zuka is not considered great. He's certainly playable. But I wouldn't put him on the list as characters that we regularly see in the meta. I think Thailand might be having a little bit too much fun.
This sounds like Thailand, though. I mean, time and time again, we've seen this team come out here, and their picks have just been all over the place. It's like, you know what? I don't think we need to play our mains today. It's just the World Cup.
It's just the group stage of the World Cup for $200,000. Let's play Zuka.
Right? I mean, but I heard he did get a buff.
That's an Arthur! It's locked in!
It's locked in. Arthur and Zuka for Thailand. Totally what we expected to see here.
I'm going to walk you through why Arthur's great. His ultimate is a very impactful ultimate. It's literally called Deep Impact. And what it does is he takes a sword that's bigger than most people and jumps about 20 feet straight up and brings it down right in the middle of a team fight. And I can't wait to see it in competitive
Isn't that what Zuka does too, except not with the sword?
Yeah, he has a little stick.
Yeah, he's got a little stick, not a 20-foot sword.
Hey, both would hurt.
Wow, look at the picks coming out of Singapore. So they got the Linus, they also got the Malik and the Teamy.
Thailand are like, hang on, they're actually drafting well. Maybe we should take this a bit more seriously.
Can we grab me that Crixie, please?
Can we? You can see all of a sudden they're much more focused. There were smiles on their faces right until that's a great 3. Singapore, I'm sure, can't believe they were given that. That's one of the best junglers, one of the best frontliners, and definitely the best tank in the game.
Yeah, I mean, and now, what do they think about it? Necroth?
Necroth is certainly viable. You can go ahead, you can push through the jungle, and I'd expect that to be a high mobility poke character from the jungle. My question is, how does that play with the Zuka? I assume that's a lane Zuka?
Probably.
I guess
he's got to execute.
So you run Arthur, Zuka split, Crixie in mid, Necroth in jungle. They're just missing, I guess, a tank to roam. I guess you could do that with the Arthur.
Yeah, the Arthur sounds like that would fit the bill just nicely.
Opposing them, Singapore still sticking to the meta, still picking smart characters. I really like them coming through, threatening. This Diochan would be out of meta.
Yeah, it would. Oh man, speaking out of meta.
Illumia. We saw an Illumia at the Valor Series Finals. An ill-fated Immortals roster did run it, and it didn't go well for them.
Why you gotta bring that up, man? He's right over there.
I was looking directly at Silly, but I said it.
We can have some more Maganga.
Yes, Maganga comes through, Irie as well. If those are locked in, that's closer to the meta. Singapore, I was so proud of everything you were doing. It looked so good. And then your mages are just interesting. The Flash, if that's the lock-in, Flash is one of the more powerful mages and certainly would be more standard than anything else they've shown.
Oh yeah, but they are gonna lock in the Ahri.
Irie, very, very good in the jungle. We've seen quite a few of the Irie players play Irie recently, I think mostly because of her capacity to jump into the middle of a clump, find stuns and big damage with her ultimate Ryu.
Exactly, and It looks like we've got the rosters locked in now between Singapore and Thailand. How do you feel about these compositions?
Thailand are running an Arthur. Singapore have everything you want. Singapore have a great composition. I would say they have this game in the bag if we knew anything about how they played.
Right.
Thailand, I don't quite want to call out they're running an Arthur and therefore it's going to be terrible, because they have pulled out weird things before and changed the meta. So maybe they're just visionaries.
If anyone is going to pull out something and make it work, it's going to be Thailand.
I would hope so. I don't know. There's the coaches shaking hands. Coach, can you explain to me how Zuka Arthur works?
You don't know about the Zuka Arthur meta? It's brand new. We just made it up last night. It's going to work out great.
They were sitting at home rolling some dice, and they were like, 20, check the sheet. Arthur? Okay. We'll play that tomorrow. There's the draft. A final look over it. If you're curious about what's out of meta, what's considered not traditional, it would be that Arthur and Zuka. Basically, everything else is some variation on standard play within the tournament so far.
Yeah, definitely what we've expected to see. The team we pick out of Singapore is pretty interesting. Along with the Malik and the Linus, they can do a lot of work here, especially with that flash. Irie, probably the one that's a little bit questionable down there, maybe, for Singapore?
Yeah, Irie's one of the characters that's on the fringe. It's not the bog standard jungle. Typically, you see a marksman like Violet run in the jungle on the more successful teams. But if you want to run an Irie, teams have done it and won. There's certainly no shame in it.
Well, it sounds like we're ready to get into game number 1 here of day 2. It's going to be Singapore versus the #1 seed of Thailand.
This is going to be a very fun match indeed. Where is this Arthur playing?
Where he's waiting over there for the invade. He wants them to come over to that red, or the blue buff.
Green buff. I like it.
The green.
He's going to back up, though. He's playing this very safe. Already caught out, and Singapore have a successful invade.
Yeah, Singapore, that teamy. He's got some pooty poots there. Gets the stun off. Sends the Arthur packing. Arthur back to the bot lane.
And Thailand actually haven't managed a successful invade to counter. They get a buff and nothing more.
Yeah, and here we go. To start things off, it's going to be a pretty slow start. And up top, though, it looks like there was a little gank attempt there. Not going to work out, though. El Espresso going to make it out.
Normally, you see the Irie run in jungle, but of course that's very difficult if you're running with Zays already, so running them in the top lane makes sense. That Arthur has rotated down and is now living in the bot lane versus Dusk for that lane matchup. A lot of my questions have been answered.
Espresso gonna go down. That's first blood for Moss with the Zuka, of course.
My other question was, how good is the Zuka? And I guess there's an answer. That Zuka coming out of the jungle and already demonstrating the power of his bamboo stick.
That Panda Chariot gets the knockup. And man, rough start already for Singapore, but expect this out of Thailand, right? And of course, it's minute 30, another 30 seconds, you can guarantee that Thailand's going to rotate down to get that Abyssal Dragon.
And I should hope so. They're a very objective-focused team. If Singapore managed to take this away from them, that would be a big part of their victory.
Yeah, and let's take a quick look at this first blood replay, because I'm sure that Dragon's going to be coming up in a second. And look at that, just to pop him, there you go, Moss closing it out right on the tower.
I believe he pumped the execute to get that as well, just using the talent.
Smart stuff. And now, 5 seconds to go, and it looks like Singapore is actually better positioned for this Dragon right now.
Yeah, I really like this because they have great position for it. Like you say, there's no good way for Thailand to break into the pen, and they're going to start it.
Yeah, exactly, they are. And Thailand, they're positioning to come and try to maybe contest here. James goes in, and Zay's going to close it out there and to get the first one.
He's down. That's instantly the Nacroft Slade. There's the shock as well. Cherry barely manages to get out. He spends the flicker. Perfect timing, and he'll survive. But that might be a little bit too much because that's a big gold lead. Worked back in favor of Singapore. They were at a major deficit just due to farming.
Yeah, we were starting to question them because of that first top death up there. And now quickly back in the mid lane, Marks is going to have to back out there, get his health as well. And the goal lead, as you mentioned, now in favor of Singapore because of that Abyssal Dragon.
Top lane, wave was just cut. That Lubu working away to make sure that the minions aren't constantly flowing, and that's going to slow down Singapore's tower pressure, especially here in the top lane, but across the entire map as they have to make up for it.
Yeah, and Thailand is obviously so good at the wave pressure. They're always the ones who's pushing all the towers down. It's something you're going to notice as this game progresses.
You can see still Moss waiting. I didn't realize it was Moss on the Zuka. That actually makes me all the more happy. Sure, right? You take away the crack. He's here. He's a panda. And he's very upset about it.
And right now, it looks like they're just going to be rotating back to mid. They might even go 4-man mid here.
Dusk versus... Why is there an Arthur in competitive play?
Of course. Isn't that pretty regular for you?
No! but it's not going bad so far. He hasn't had a major impact on the game, and I think he is outmatched versus this Malik. I think Malik's just better at the roll. There's our first Arthur roll to the game.
Yeah, that first deep impact. Not much damage, though. And look at Tainted coming in after with that Mach Punch. Not enough damage to close out Moss, though.
There's a reason they call it super speed. He went in there, he said hello, gave them a business card, and was out in a flash.
No problem. In and out, fastest man alive.
Apart from, it seems like every season there's somebody faster.
It always does seem that way. I love that show, by the way.
I guess there wouldn't be much of a show if you actually was the fastest man alive.
It's like, what do you mean? Someone is faster than me? Dang it.
Track it up in 6 seconds. Not terribly fast, but it'll be up. And when it is, Singapore again want to secure control. Thailand are properly challenging this time, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely
Cyclone? That's huge.
Goodness. Yeah, huge Cyclone.
Shock
Sherry's
as well.
trouble. Moss might be in trouble here as well.
That is massive!
Oh
Singapore
my goodness.
should be winning this fight. They even have the resurrection, so B-Marks can't just burn through. He'll get one in trade, but that is not enough.
No, not at all. 5-2 kill lead now for Singapore over Thailand.
And in the top lane the whole time, Singapore are just stealing buffs, gaining pressure, gaining that gold lead. That's what we said. Pressure the jungle. Make sure they're not able to get out ahead.
Now let's take a look one more time at what just went down in that bot lane.
There's the shot coming through. You can see it's big knock-up for Singapore, and they instantly do big damage. Moss is able to find one in trade with his burst from Zuka, but I feel like he doesn't really have the mobility to get out.
Right, exactly. And right now we're back into it. And look at the lead, the goal lead now for Singapore. Almost at 2K. They're going for this other Sentinel. Man,
I think that was stolen. I've just witnessed a robbery. Somebody call the police. The Abyssal Dragon will be stolen in the night as well.
Yeah, not a bad pull there for Thailand. Trying to even out that goal differential.
This is good.
But look at the towers up and top. Singapore pushing ahead.
I like this from Singapore. Yes, you don't get the Abyssal, but you're aware of how many members it takes to get an Abyssal, so in the meantime, you can take the second tower in the top lane.
And look at this, they're rotating back down in mid now, as Arthur's still keeping his pressure down on Dusk.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure!
Marks!
You can apply that directly to a wound, it would stop the bleeding instantly! That was so much pressure!
Oh man, the siege weapon's of course out already. So Singapore is looking surprisingly good. We'd mentioned how they would be the X factor coming into this one, and it's really looking to be that way. Thailand seeming like they're caught off guard a little bit.
Yeah, Thailand maybe a bit overconfident, pulling at Moss, waving his giant. I didn't realize that was a skin with a giant toothbrush.
What else would you want with a panda? Is it a panda that keeps the teeth clean?
Apparently, Cyclone in mid. Jamie just needs to back off after Tainted One. Cyclone knocks him down to half HP. Singapore's map control is really impressing me.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And you can see up there, you got the Ahri still defending, and now there's rotating down to the bot lane. Maybe they want to try to push over that bot tower. Maybe they just want to invade that jungle. Singapore has been doing a good job of invading that jungle. It's one of the things we pointed out earlier that they might need to do if they want to stand a chance against Thailand here. But finally, Thailand taking out that top tower.
Look at how they're pushing instantly on the bot. This is good from Singapore. Yes, you don't have the power top lane, but if you can find a pick bot, it's all even.
I don't know, though. Happens there too, and that Arthur is going to be dead.
His ult's deep impact. That was a very deep dive in answer. We were talking earlier about pressure. They're going to have to be careful they depressurize as they go back up.
Yeah, they're going to have to depressurize. You know, you don't want to get the bends. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, when you go up too quick while you're scuba diving.
And look at this. It looks like actually Thailand going to be trying to closing in to meet them down in that bot lane.
They are scuba diving. That's very far forwards from Singapore. They're going to go for another tower.
Oh, Bazooka's right behind him. Gets in there.
It's a lot of pressure from Moss. He's already down so low. This is a big
moonfall.
Resurrection is there. He's going to be back.
Singapore
right
saving
there.
the day. Oh,
that
and Arthur.
Was massive.
He's trying to close him out there. Trapping there, slow him down as well, though. Dusk keeping that Arthur away. Well done for Singapore.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now.
And now the Abyssal Dragon too?
Yeah, 7-2 at a goal lead to Singapore as they are controlling this game.
4K goal lead for Singapore at the 740 mark. This is insane. Oh my goodness, though. Got to get out of there. Flash putting in some work of Quixie in the back. El Espresso going to fall to a remix, though.
This is not really a great engage from the Flash. You need to stay safe, Singapore. I know this has been going great, but this is where Thailand start to maybe realize they need to take this match seriously. And when they do, you're going to kind of meet the next level of focus, I think.
Yeah, and Thailand definitely taking out that blue buff from Singapore's side.
I like the pressure. This is going to be the Dark Slayer up at this point, and that means both teams, especially with as many towers down as there are, need to start worrying about the control of that area.
Yeah, and you know, Singapore is doing such a great job with the wave control here, just to make sure that Thailand's not being able to push them.
Scary for Moss. You can see 813 came through. There's a dive again from the Flash.
Yeah,
This is very aggressive.
I really like the Flash pick against Crixie, actually. Looks like an effective way of just countering her, actually.
Crixie is a glass cannon, and if you can get in there with a Mach Punch or a Rock and just smash that glass cannon, it's so effective.
Yeah, she doesn't have really good escape tools either.
No, the most she has is the speed boost on Moonfall. And that's frankly just not enough.
No, not at all.
Espresso does find the Ryu ultimate spin combo. That's damage and then a back off.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Remix.
Ooh,
he sees everything.
Oh, he gets him with the impaling. He's going in 3-on-1, though. He's got the counter ready to go. Jamco coming in from behind.
This could be dangerous. Zaze is down and the resurrection was already baited. He won't be back. Dusk is the only one alive, and I don't see him living.
No
Cyclone!
way.
Marsh is gone!
Oh, my God!
I don't think that's enough, though. Still a bad trade in the fight. 2 for 3, but not nearly as bad as it could have been for Singapore.
Yeah, definitely not. 2 for 3. Not the end of the world, considering how that fight was looking for a second. And now El Espresso battling it out with Arthur in the jungle.
Yeah, you can see he always initiates those fights with the Ryu ultimate, just knowing that he can find a stun and then back off, run away using Shadow, but first and foremost, stop the enemy from targeting you.
Wow, Flash almost there with that super speed just in time, but no, the blue buff going to go to Jamco with the Nacroth.
Let's take a look, at that Darkslayer replay, because it was really cool to watch. You can see the pressure coming through here from Singapore. They should have a 3v1, but Lubu pops his Conqueror, and that gives him basically infinite lifesteal for its duration, and the fight goes badly wrong there.
Yeah, speaking of going badly wrong, not looking good for Arthur right now. El Espresso chunking him down, and Arthur going to fall.
I think Moss could have done that with low HP on Espresso.
I think he could have.
That's dangerous. Memarks, also an obvious focus.
Yeah, Dusk looking for that cleave there. And now maybe the Abyssal Dragon for Singapore again. Looks like this should be free for them.
Darkslayer.
Oh yeah, Darkslayer up top. This is going to be a good trade for Thailand.
If it's not challenged, this may very well be a major pickup, a game-ending pickup for Thailand, depending on what they get with it.
Well, they definitely got in. They are so effective at pushing that lane and taking more towers once they have that buff. So gold right now in favor currently for Singapore by a couple thousand, but not enough to matter.
Oh, Dusk. Poor Dusk. Oh, he's got the backup. Zaze is there.
Oh my God.
Zaze stepped into a firing range.
That was ridiculous damage. Man, the Zuka pick, I gotta say, not really working out for Moss.
I really love how they're able to do that, and they're looking for the same combo again, shutting down the members with this Slayer buff. Zaze may be in trouble, though.
Zaze in big trouble. Lubu gonna take him out there.
Resurrection.
Remix. Oh, Teamy just in time, being a bro. Look at that. And they get him.
4 people, but they still do it.
And they didn't lose any, thanks to the Teamy Resurrection, right? Being a bro.
Very well played, almost like a big brother. Very well done. That's the kind of brotherly love I look for from a successful team.
Well, right now, Thailand rotating on down to the bot lane. They still have that Slayer buff. And finally taking out one of the towers in the bot lane, trying to make it 2.
Thailand, yes, we can get caught up in the unexpected gold lead and kill lead to Singapore, but don't forget they're still winning on map pressure and they still have the Slayer buff.
Yeah, and that's 5 towers now for Thailand. And so many games we've seen, especially with NA, where NA had the goal lead, they had the kill lead, but Thailand just running through the towers now. 6-3. Look at the map control because of it.
That Cyclone, the final tic-tacking cherry. Map control, all very well and good, but it may still... Oh, the deep impact! He's right in and instantly finds a kill. Singapore need to get out of here.
Yeah, Mark's Paul and Moonfall, but it's way too far away. And the Mach Punch again coming out with that super speed, chunking them all down. Thailand having to retreat here.
Very well done to stay alive considering the situation, but they are down a member, and indeed a very important member on the Irie. They look to the Irie for a lot of initiations.
Right, but the Flash right now is being a pretty good initiate himself. Although the high ground tower in the middle is getting chunked as well. Teamy going to try to push him off, clearing the wave. Very well done. And look at the damage he just ate, though. That T-pick that almost got him.
This may sound redundant, but that Flash is so fast. He just went all the way to the middle of the map, took a fight, and then went home.
Luckily, he was close home. He'd be able to heal up quickly and get back into it.
And he is. You can see the ultimates up across the board there. And that's a really interesting fact for Singapore. They have pretty good CC combos with those ultimates. I really like seeing the Cyclone into the Irie stun into the shock.
Yeah, it's a fantastic combo. And right now, what they've got to do is push these waves out. Look, the waves are pushed like 75% to the way to their high ground towers. They got to clear that out because Thailand is so strong once they have all those waves pushed up on them.
We talked earlier about the gold lead being in favor of Singapore. That's now shifting. Thailand definitely back in the gold game and 100% controlling the map game.
Oh, and here we go. Looks like another team fight breaking out. There's the
bait.
shock down there on Marks. Mark, they want to get that Crixie out of there first, but they're going to lose their Tainted, their Flash in the process.
That's okay. There's the res. They're going to have another one back, and Cherry's already needing to run for his life again. Singapore win the fight. I don't know if this is... Oh, the shielding! He doesn't have it! He tried to stay alive because the shielding was given to him. Zays will find the trade, and Remix in the meantime, it's just working away at the base.
Wait a second, can he get the core by himself? No, he's got to try and focus him out.
Surely not. Oh, that's far too many kills, though. That should have been a major team fight victory for Singapore. But because he dives into the backline and 813 goes down as well on the teamie, they don't have enough players to make anything happen with this team fight victory.
Yeah, but still 4 kills to 3 there for Singapore that time. But that high ground tower going down, some damage to their core in the process.
At this point, we've reached the point of the game where gold starts to matter a lot less. Basically, everyone is approaching or already at that 15-minute level mark, so all that matters is control.
Right, and let's take a look at that last fight really quick while we got some time before these guys get back into it.
Look at this as Cherry goes very far forward. He's trying to protect the push as they go forward and focus out Marks, but they instantly burn him down, and a huge part of that for me is the Malik of Dusk, who is the absolute MVP for me.
Right, here's the Cyclone on Marks again. Gonna pull him in half life. See ya, indeed.
He's out of there. The instant he spends the Cyclone, he knows he interrupts the push. And we were talking earlier, you brought up a really good point. The Flash is the perfect Crixie counter.
And right now, it looks like Arthur going in on Airy. But oh my gosh, looks like Teamy's right there behind.
Yeah, and this Teamy's been perfect as well. We really questioned the banning phase, letting that Teamy get through because they were so busy first picking Arthur. And now they're paying for it because every single fight there's been a massive resurrection.
And both teams now, looks like they're positioning for this Dragon. Both in the bottom half. Lubu still, of course, pushing that split lane up top.
I worry about the split lane a ton because that Lubu is more than willing to go for the back door. We've seen it once already. Yeah,
but Bissell Dragon looks like it's going to go down very quick here in favor of Singapore. They got to get back in time to defend. Airy is there to take on the Lubu in the split lane. And Arthur trying to engage here 3-on-1. I mean, he's pretty tanky.
King Arthur stands back. I don't know if that's King Arthur. I think it's just
regular
a guy called Arthur.
Yeah, he's armored Arthur. He's
Not
just
a mouse,
another one of them from
presumably.
back then.
Not a mouse, I hope. There's the pressure onto Remix from Espresso. He's got Marks nearby. Tainted Ones joins as well. All of Singapore is here.
Yeah, but he got chunked pretty low there. Espresso gonna have to back out, get his health back, and they're gonna have to regroup here. Lane pressure coming in on the bot lane, coming down the mid and the top as well. Thailand's so good at keeping his wave pressure on.
And that's what they're known for. That's why Thailand is the favored team, because of their experience in map control.
Oh boy, look at him sandwiching in here now around him. Oh my god, Remix just disappears though. Where did he go?
That was a hot fire mixtape. You can't remix that.
There's no remix.
Jerry may be in trouble as well. He's going to be pitted as Tainted Ones pushes forward.
Yeah, let's see if they can try to single out Marks here. He goes for the Moonfall, too far away, though, not going to find anyone with it. But meanwhile, in the bottom lane, you've got Moss trying to clear up the lane, but good job by Tainted to clean it out.
Yeah, Tainted playing very good backline
defense. Shock is going to hit.
While the push comes through, that's 2 kills instantly to Singapore. The question is, can you do anything with it? We've seen so many good fights from Singapore and so little conversion.
Going to try to convert into Slayer right now. They've got 3 down on the Thailand side. It sounds like a good idea right now. But Zuka from Moss going to keep pushing that bot lane. They're going to have to recall after this.
Slayer pickup. Moss knows he's in the right because of that Slayer pickup.
Oh my god, look at the damage. He's chunking on this high ground tower. Flash in there, but it's too late. But he should be able to take out Moss here.
You can't outrun the Flash, and I suppose that's good. But where do you go from here if you're Singapore? You need a high ground in response. That's why they're trying to escort them this minion wave through top. That is the only lane where they have the high ground exposed.
I like the idea here. I mean, but how long before the respawn? They got 35 seconds for Moss, 3 seconds on Cherry.
Shock.
And here comes the shock, yep.
Nice
but they should be able to get this high ground tower pretty easily here. Can they even push further? It's going to be 4-4, no Flash with them. Remix is low, he's down as well.
Cherry dives Zays, that's a very important pick. T-Box as well with the Moonfall tearing up this fight, but they're holding on. Singapore, they managed to stay alive. I don't know how, but they've won that fight.
Oh my gosh, and just enough life left on to get out of there. But man, the pressure, scary moment there for Thailand. Cherry down for 40 seconds. Respawn timer's getting incredibly long at this point. And now they've got to go back to the base, push out the waves so they can have more pressure themselves.
I'm a little bit disappointed in Singapore that they weren't able to get another tower with that push. I would have liked them to pressure mid or bottom lane with it. I agree. However, they did just have to fall back and reset, given the low HP on some of their teammates.
Yeah, without a doubt, that seemed to be the best case right there for them. And the Flash, you know, he ran all the way from the bot lane, all the way to that top lane for the high ground tower fight up there. He could have probably pushed the lane and got that mid tower on the way, but you know, still, they survived.
How many pairs of running shoes do you think it takes if you're the Flash?
I mean, what kind of running shoes are we talking here?
It better be like metal plated. You'd wear through those treads very fast.
Oh man, look at the wave pressure on the top lane from Moss and Azuka. They're keeping so much pressure on that lane, and now finally Singapore rallying back to the middle. And they're going to be able to probably take down his mid tower with ease. However, they have to watch out. They're going to close it from all angles here.
Moonfall does come through. Dusk is taking that.
Yeah,
that's a huge cyclone. That is massive. Shock comes through as well. It's good zoning, but the pressure is still on. And Singapore are eating so much AoE.
Yeah, they're eating so much damage, but they're still in this fight. El Espresso, 2 more left on Thailand. Can he get in? No. He's going to back out.
That is so good. El Espresso absolutely carries that fight while everything else is going on. He focuses down Memarks, burns down the back line.
Impressive stuff of Singapore, but they need to convert this. Like you can see right now, Necroth, he's still pushing that lane, bot lane.
Boss, if you get stunned up and slain,
boy,
this could be another tower in mid. Singapore.
They've got to go back to the base. Yeah, a couple of them are thinking about recalling here.
You only need to send one. Jamie is relying on the fact that there's going to be those super minions pushing through, so he knows that there has to be a defense team, and he can go back and properly defend.
So here we go. They're keeping the pressure on here. That timer's still so high. 5 seconds on Cherry, though. 5 on a remix. 8 on Marks. They're going to be close. Oh, my God.
El Espresso. That's huge.
That's an ace, but they're a cup already. Cherry's up. Marks back up as well. Oh, the respread.
He has Ancestral Glory. Yeah, he can get back. It doesn't actually. He goes down anyway. But the point is, he managed to get back.
No.
The problem is, Zaze goes down as well. And Thailand now have 2 kills that they badly need. And look at those 40, 50-second almost respawn timers.
This is getting crazy. And right now, Singapore has to be so careful because look at Thailand. They're just marching down the middle. They want to end this game before things get any crazier.
30 seconds left on the respawns. This game's gone 20 minutes.
That's insanely long.
For Arena of Valor, and especially for a match from the #1 seeded team against possibly the bottom seeded team.
Yeah, Singa who? Singa where? Never heard of them.
Singapore, and they're here to play. There's the dive. Cherry opens up. Nice deep impact. That's a good engage.
Yeah, Thailand wants to close it out here. Another big cyclone, though, catching a bunch of players in the middle. Cherry might fall here. Dust gonna fall as well.
Dust gets the last second. That's huge. Soul Eater as well. And Tainted Ones dives in. Singapore, hold on. There's the chain blast. They have more stuns. And Moss is completely split. He'll still go down.
And look at it though. Jameco's still alive. He's been in the top jungle the whole time. He's gonna be their last line of defense here. Singapore, you gotta get back over there.
I want to see that hold again. That was insane. Look at Cherry here. He takes the front line so well, and all of this fight for me is Dusk.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, look, the cycle was there, the move fall was there, but Dusk just surviving.
It was his lifesteal. It was his lifesteal from his build. When he uses the big cleaver, he actually gets so much lifesteal. This could be game.
Is Singapore going to get a game on the #1 team?
Game. The #1 team. Thailand goes down to Singapore. 1-0 in the group stage.
Unbelievable. The X Factor. Singapore getting up 1-0 in the series against the #1 seed in Thailand. Who would have seen that coming?
I did.
You did.
Thailand
you saw that Zuka pick?
They look shell-shocked. Thailand are decimated.
Remember all those smiles and giggles we saw before that first game? Where are they now?
Over on Singapore. They're having a great time.
Wow, unbelievable stuff. Impressive showing from Singapore.
Welcome to the Arena of Valor World Cup. You don't get to take games lightly. You don't get to fool around. There's the post-game stats screen. How's that Arthur pick working?
Oh, not so hot, but look at the Zays, the 11-2. The El Espresso 10-5 plays such a crucial role throughout there. And as you mentioned, Dusk at the end of that huge team fight. 6-2, but so important. Gets the MVP award for that round.
Okay, I'm going to take a moment. Oh, actually, look at the damage taken. Dusk, 25% of his team's damage taken. He was playing a very good role as the team's tank, but also he does 20% of his team's damage. That was the perfect Malik.
Yeah, absolutely perfect Malik from Dusk. And Singapore, they came prepared. They did their homework. They knew exactly all the target bands they needed to get that first game against Thailand.
I want to talk a bit about Memarks as well. He was responsible for 30-40% of his team's damage. That's what you want from the Crixie.
Right.
But I worry that the numbers are a little small. That's an example of nobody else on your team being able to follow up.
Right. I mean, so many times, you know, she would get the knockup, but no one there behind her. And so many of those instances where just Singapore just happened to survive. And that teamie, bringing back people repeatedly.
Yes.
Those were crucial moments that Thailand really could have ran away with things.
That teamie so many times, 8-1-3, doing so. The two supports, Malik on Dusk and 8-1-3. We can't talk up Tainted Ones enough either. He played so well on that flash.
Yeah, there was one of those being a bros right now just to bring them all back to life. Zay's happy about it, and then, of course, taking out the core Jameco. Not going to be able to stop that push. Not that late in the game.
Okay.
Take a breath.
Reality check. Reality check. This is Thailand trying something interesting. Perhaps there's an award for the most creative composition. Perhaps they were trying to play to that. They clearly thought they had a free game. This game costs money.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely not even on sale. And this may be game number 2 where they go, okay, head back in the game, take it seriously, and things get rough for Singapore from here on in.
And, you know, we just got word Thailand moving over to the blue side. I talked about it as a joke before we got started here, thinking about how Thailand's always winning when they're on the blue side. This time they didn't get the blue side. The lucky coin flip went to Singapore on the red side.
They have a 0% win rate on the red side.
Yeah, it's 100% on the blue, though. It's a problem.
I can't believe Thailand, the first game they lose is to Singapore. That's so cool. And you can see they can't believe
Look
it either.
at their faces right now. That is not at all the tone that we saw before the set started.
That is really cool, and I love the fact that Singapore played that so well to the book. They saw Thailand screwing around and they said, all right, fine, if you're going to give us all these picks, if you're going to give us all these advantages, we'll take them. And
you really got to believe, just right outset from the bans, you had to know that Singapore did their homework if you were Thailand, right? But they still decided, let's try out this Arthur, you know, let's try out this Zuka, let's see how this goes.
Those target bans come through, I think, oh, this is a Singapore team that's done the homework, that's here to play, that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Thailand clearly didn't think that much of it.
And of course, here we go. This is going to be right back in for game number 2. We are back to draft phase. I mean, this is so significant, right? When you just look at these group stages, Singapore, if they could take out Thailand here, that is just incredible. And the first ban, of course, going out now to Omen from Thailand. I believe that's how they started last time.
The other team in this group is North America.
Right.
If Singapore wins this, I think that's great news for NA fans. If Singapore wins this, however, the question for the NA fans is, are you prepared to lose to Singapore?
They're not prepared to lose anyone. And bans right now coming out the same way they started before. We got Grak on the Singapore side, Superman back on the Thailand side. Are they prepared to lose to Singapore? NA, you know, they've always had such close games with Thailand as well, but they just haven't been able to get the towers, right? It's just... things are going to get very, very interesting if Singapore is able to do this and take out Thailand, especially 2-0. That would be significant.
Bans coming through. We're sticking with the targets. The Grak still removed. Opposing them, it's still the general bans. Thailand didn't see anything too specific they wanted to take out. Instead, they stick with removing the Omen and the Superman.
Yeah, and look at Thailand's faces right now, TJ. How do you think these guys are feeling right now?
That was a reality check.
Yeah, it was.
That was knock knock. It's reality. You need to take these games seriously.
I mean, this is the World Cup. There's $550,000 on the line, $200,000 for first. If you blow one of these early games, what if you don't even make it to the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I think that's probably the first time Thailand have ever had that thought.
Right. It's right there on this, and you can see it on their faces.
They didn't lose a single BO3 in the boot camp. I'm sure they have no intention of losing one now. But for the first time since the boot camp, that possibility is in their head.
Yeah, now they've got to win 2 games in a row. I mean, they've done it before, plenty of 2-0s at the boot camp for them, but a much taller order against a team that obviously did their homework and came prepared. And you see this time Thailand, they're banning teamie. They're like, you know, there was way too many being a bros there. Here's a bro to everybody. What the heck? But of course, you see the Lindis ban coming out of Singapore this time.
Thailand also definitely taking this a little bit more seriously. They do successfully lock in that Zennial.
That's a lot more seriously.
I want to see the Violet come through, Scud coming through as kind of a target ban still. I think that's very smart. You take the Scud away from Remix. That allows them to ban away that Lindis. They certainly don't want the risk of, I believe that would be Jameco.
I believe so. Yeah, without a doubt. And right now, I mean... it's going to be hard. Thailand, they've got an uphill battle. I'm so curious about Singapore and their homework. Like, they obviously did the homework for the first game, and now the Zen pick comes out. I got to believe they're ready for it too.
They didn't just do the worksheet. They did the essay. They're ready to give a spoken word presentation.
What are the hero?
PowerPoint presentation, and it's got star transitions.
Star transitions? Whoa!
Yes.
Those are the fancy ones, right? And look at
Yes.
this, they're taking the Alice away from Moss. Well, of course, the Zen might go to Moss anyway, but a good pick there for the support anyway.
The Malik that we saw be so effective, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it effective on the Singapore side. Now going to Thailand.
I want to see where these tanks are played because so much, we talked about the Timi and the Malik. That was Dusk and 813. Playing super well on the 2-tank characters. So far, they've got a Scud, and the Malik's been taken away from them. I'm a little bit worried that the tankiness that gave them so many fights game 1 is now absent from the Singapore side.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here as this plays out, but still a lot more picks to be had. I'm curious about if they're going to continue this trend. And wait, what? The Airy pick going potentially to Thailand?
Okay. I mean, Irie is certainly a very powerful character. Maybe you just don't want to see it again. And it functions sort of as a respect ban, not necessarily a respect pick. As a character that isn't 100% in meta, definitely doesn't need to be picked this early. The fact that Thailand are choosing to pick it this early says we are worried about that happening to us again.
Yeah, El Espresso, with that Irie last game, was doing so well against Thailand. They definitely are trying to take it away from him this game.
So they have the Alice. The thing about Alice, of course, is that while it's a very powerful character, the tanking nature needs to come from how they're zoning with their abilities. So what they can do is play a little bit further back, so they need a larger life pool on the rest of their team to compensate for that.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm super happy to see the Ryoma coming through as a jungler, because that's one of the tankier, never mind, the Arduin would also fit this role, as it's a little bit on the tankier side and capable of compensating.
Yeah, last second decision change there perhaps. And wow, Mamark's immediately locked in the Raz.
Okay, Raz not really in meta. That's actually a major pickup.
This is so interesting.
We've seen Raz occasionally. He's certainly not bad, but he's not one of the typical 2 majors. Tulin is still available. Liliana is still available. Thailand are expected to pick up one of those 2.
Yeah, I'm so curious about why Mamarks feels that Raz would be a good pickup right now.
Raz has a ton of repositioning. You can dive into the backlines, push people around, you can find a ton of knockups. Maybe that's valuable if you're looking to isolate individual characters.
Yeah, maybe specifically the Alice, look from what we've seen so far, or maybe even the Flash.
Yeah, I don't really buy into it, to be frank. I still think that this is now an even drafting phase. The problem for Singapore is they won that last drafting phase 1,000% to 1.
Right.
So even drafts, I worry a bit for them because of that.
I don't know, man. I feel like Singapore still is looking pretty good here. Tainted was looking really good on the Flash. He gets it back again. You know, the question is Zay's and that Scud and how effective that's going to be. I mean, Scud is a very effective backliner too, right? I mean, he's great to go in and displace everyone as well.
What is this? If that's a wisp,
boy.
I will attempt to flip this test. Oh, look. It's a Fennec.
Oh, yeah. That looks just like Fennec. He's blue and everything. Look at his face.
It's Slims. I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware. I know.
Oh, man. That was funny yesterday, though. But
no,
yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be Fennec Slim anyway.
Slemic.
Yeah, Slimic. Slimic.
Sure. I'd rename it. Dusk.
How about Rourke? How do you feel about Rourke in here?
That would be good. Rourke is a very, very powerful DPS character. Looking at this composition, one of the things they were missing was maybe a little bit more damage. Rourke can provide that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. This is looking pretty good for Singapore right now. I kind of like what I'm seeing.
The thing about...
Oh, Fennec Slim?
Slims is locked in. Okay. Right. CC focused again from Singapore. They have the Flash, the Alice, the Arduin, the Scud, and the Slims. Every single... You see how I paused there to make sure I got it right?
Every Slims. With the flying spear. Yeah.
Yes. Every single character on that roster has at least one control ability, at least one stun. And that, to me, is very interesting because we saw so many of those good CC combos in that last game.
So they're going to be able to play much the same way they did last game, just with a completely different composition. What does Thailand have to do to displace them here?
Well, I'd look for the Raz. I want to, if he's able to pick up multiple players, as he regularly does with his rising uppercut and explosive KO, that could result in a situation where people are pushed around, out of position, and a less experienced team like Singapore, who we occasionally saw have little communication breakdowns, could struggle.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting. I mean, Singapore came out swinging, getting those early dragons as well. You know, we said that maybe jungle pressure is one of those things that they could have excelled at to maybe throw off Thailand a little bit, and they definitely took advantage of that, I thought. So I want to see if Thailand can defend the jungle a little bit better against them, and whether they can also get the dragons early, because that goal lead was in Singapore's favor almost the entire game.
We said shut down Moss. They almost didn't have to because Moss powered off.
Yeah, he shut down himself.
Yeah. Maybe it was just sleep, though. Hibernation. Is that what it's called these days?
Yeah. For pandas, I think it is, actually.
He played... Oh, my God. That's such a good tie-in. He played Zuka and was in hibernation.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
And that was a major, I think, asset to Singapore. Now I worry, as we get into Game 2, is Moss back?
Well, here we go. Let's find out. Game number 2. Thailand versus Singapore. And Singapore is up in the series 1-0.
Thailand pushing up this mid lane. This is so normal for the Asian meta, maybe new to... Oh my God, that's a big...
remix.
They're going in.
Down? He is. First blood to Tainted. Singapore picking up where they left off.
Singapore, can you chill? What on earth is this?
Hey, they came running right at us 5-man down mid. I had him a one sunshine, boom. Tainted went in, GG.
Instantly, he manages to pop, I believe it's called Rend on Arduin. He catches everyone in the big AoE damage of it. Let's watch it again. So, right there,
Flying Spear too, yeah.
Yeah, Flying Spear, the CC combos. They only have one ability up on all these characters at this point, remember?
Right.
But they all chose the stun abilities, and then they did that.
Exactly, so now if you're Town, you've got to be shook. Just a little bit at least, right?
They are shooketh to the maximum degree. All right, guys, Game 1 was a fluke. We're going to get into this Game 2 really... Oh, no.
Oh, wait a second. We're behind already.
Here's the pressure, bot lane. Dusk hanging out with Cherry. This is a bad matchup for Arduin simply because Malik is maybe the best at this role, and that may be decisive for those early abyssals.
Oh, and Espresso having to run back to town. Gets dove on, though. Can he get to the health in time? He does, just barely. 813's got to run, too.
Yeah, 813. Oh my God, Remake shut down. That was so good. And 813 staying alive.
Happening?
He manages to survive. And Tainted Ones pushes through. Moss and Mimarks are pushed back. Another kill, uncontested to Singapore.
That was unbelievable. Zays too. Those flying spears keeping everyone in check. They had to back up so fast. Like, I gotta run. I gotta dodge. He's keeping everyone on their toes.
In my head, I was thinking Game 1 was just because of the silly draft. I have to say, that team play from Singapore is looking legitimately spectacular.
Yeah, and look at this. Now Thailand trying to get this dragon. They're behind already in gold. They want to turn things around here. Singapore, only the argument right now up down here at the bot lane to defend.
I feel like I have to mention it again. Thailand is the #1 team. Singapore didn't even qualify.
No.
They did not even qualify for this tournament.
This is crazy. And Thailand can't even get the Abyssal Dragon. No one was there to rotate with them. Their IRE right now is 0-2 to start things off.
You can see the Flash also still pressuring in the middle of the lane. I really like that from Tainted Ones because it gives them map awareness around this Abyssal Dragon. He's checking all the bushes, giving Singapore vision, and they can attempt an early dragon pickup.
Yeah, and right now they have much better positioning to get that dragon, but they're not really even looking for it at the moment.
No, it was kited out by the Malik. He goes into the bottom lane, tags it, very smart play.
And El Espresso there, a little pop-up, get an Irie off the wave so he can push it up just a little bit further.
Espresso doing a great job in that top lane. The
Scud,
very powerful character. Look for, especially on Scud, the capacity to reposition.
Oh, Mark's
targets.
in trouble here. There's the shock. Oh, keep him safe, man.
You said, are Thailand shook? One poke comes through. That was three ultimates blown just to keep him alive.
Don't let him die.
Oh, you might be losing players mid lane. There's the flicker. Deep Cyclone commit, and he's got the super speed to retreat.
Yeah, going very deep. Singapore feeling confident right now. And look at it. They're going to turn back to that Abyssal Dragon. Should be an easy one to take. Thailand, though, going to try to come to the last second. They might have a chance to steal here.
Cherry.
Oh, Tainted One trying to clear it out.
Nearby, there's the commit from Moss. Malleus in. This
dragon.
Abyssal is resetting.
Oh, no.
Dusk does manage to keep himself alive, though, and now they can go for a proper engage.
Moss,
you are gone. Jamie in the front lines. He's also barely going to be able to get out, but this is complete control again of the Dragon Pen.
Yeah, and Cherry running, but he's trapped behind. He can't even get back to his tower right now. He doesn't even have his ulti up. No shock available. Can he get out of there?
This is just mean.
Yeah, Arduin had the call, and Cherry shock to escape. Smart stuff. It just came up, and he's going to get the hell to retreat as well.
Take it back. They weren't mean enough.
I mean, 3-0 killing to start things off. You're Singapore with the 1,000 goal lead, and now they're going to try again for that dragon.
It's a few times going. This time surely is the charm.
No way. James Ko and Moss are in. are in pursuit. You wait and see. They're going to come around next any second.
Nope.
No.
Scared off. The Flash. He says, I've got like 6 seasons of a TV show. You can't compete with my commercial empire.
Of course not. Look at the gold. 10K now coming in for Singapore at the 4.5-minute mark. They are starting off strong, just like the first game.
Thailand grouped up for this top lane, though. Espresso needs to play it carefully, and he's already stunned out.
Yeah,
There's the Wild Beast
get
Rage.
off me.
Oh, it's not enough.
No, but a tower not going to hit
Tainted.
Remix either.
There's the Angelic Splitter going through. That actually reveals Remix's position. So that Cyclone can come through. With the Hissy Fit, it's scary. Remix is barely going to survive.
Yeah, but Alice now in trouble as well. Gets stunned, and she might fall, and she does.
That's
to
big.
the Moss. And now Taden maybe as well. Nice turnaround here from Thailand, tying it up 3 apiece.
Thailand needed that fight. When they do so, that brings the gold back
Oh my
even.
goodness, they're going in on everybody.
That
Making
is
another
crucial.
one.
Thailand finally take the kill lead. Is that the first time this series?
I think it is the first time the series. Jamco taking out Zays with the double kill.
Bottom lane, though, there's tower pressure going through as well. Dusk was trying to get cheeky. Even in defeat, that's the right thing to do. Smart map rotations from Singapore.
Yeah, well done, Thailand, showing why they're the #1 seed, though. Starting to turn things around here early. It was scary for a second, though.
They don't get top lane tower. One team fight does not a victory make.
Yeah, definitely not, but they did get a lot of damage done to it. Very low is that top tower.
Here's the pressure. Still in top, actually being led off by the Scud. You'd think maybe I really start to worry for a team that's coming into this as such an upset-focused team. This is dangerous when you start to be challenged, when the game starts to not be landsliding in your favor. Are you shook, maybe as much as the Thailand team is? Do you start playing more careful? We saw it last time with Indonesia versus Vietnam. Teams that are maybe a little bit less practiced or a little bit less confident when the pressure gets turned on. Singapore are still trying to make plays.
Yeah, that's, of course, where experience comes into play, and Dusk just going to escape that time.
Using his ult, Cull just getting out of the middle of the fight, staying alive. That's important for this Abyssal.
Yeah, and very important for the Abyssal. Look at that long-range stun from Zays. Just took off the shield off of Moss, though. Not much damage done to him. The Abyssal Dragon looks like it's going to go in favor of Thailand here, but Singapore right in place to potentially contest you as it gets lower.
There's the shock. They're done watching.
They're going to dive on him and to get the Dragon.
8-1-3, that's a lot of trouble, but he's got the Hissy Fit out. Tainted one with the Cyclone. There's the Angelic Spider going through. The Cyclone lands onto all of them. That is big for Singapore. If they can follow through, as they are struggling, that is terrifying. Thailand, turn it around.
Yeah, Thailand turning it all around there. Everyone getting blown up. And now Tainted trying to clear the way just so they can stop him from getting a tower. Looks like Scud's going to have to rotate down here. He's ready to go. He's got the Power Glove active. But he's just going to use the Fury Charge to get back to his own tower.
They found a great team fight engaged there for Singapore, but they weren't quite able to manage to find the damage. Even though they got all the stuns, we've talked about many times the capacity for these stun cycles to do big amounts of damage, if you can find the follow-up.
Yeah, the Angelic Splendor from Zenial last team fight, so important as well. Man, it's getting really rough.
So for the entire duration of the Angelic Splendor, there's a big damage reduction, right? So anyone who's in it isn't being affected nearly as badly by the stun, the damage combos that they're trying with those major abilities.
Right. And that's another reason why Singapore couldn't find damage during that team fight. But again, they're doing a good job of defending the lanes here. And Thailand so far only able to get one tower, although they are pushing down in that bot tower, as I say.
Dusk, 8-1-3 and Zays nearby. Moss and Me Marks will be near as well to challenge. This might be dangerous.
Yeah, he had him with the pop-up for the call, but no one going to initiate off of it.
Singapore shouldn't be initiating. I like that they're able to play a little bit more carefully now. What they need to just do is defend their lanes, keep the waves pushed, maybe find an odd pick-off, but focus on getting farmed and back into this game gold-wise.
Oh my gosh, 8-1-3 just got chunked. And Jamco trying to keep pressure. And from behind now, Moss on the Flash, but Flash going to get out of there, but they do get the mid-tower from Moss.
That's a good mid-tower pickup. Thailand's the kind of champion mentality showing up as they're finally able to leverage what made them so successful. Pressure all across the map, in all of the lanes, gaining them ground slowly and steadily.
Yeah, and you can see the waves still pushing out. Singapore still in this. They are falling more and more behind, the 4K goal behind right now.
This is going to be rough, and really the only way back into this is things like this, individual pickups.
Yeah, and OL Espresso trying to get the cleanup, and he does not get it. Man, it's rough. Singapore can't seem to close out the kills this game.
No, they're, I think, struggling because they fell behind. You can see they're all about a level behind and definitely a decent gold deficit at this point.
Yeah, and the Scud pick has not been working. Here comes the shock, pops him up. They're going to go in on him here, and that's going to be a dead El Espresso by Sherry.
Tower will be under threat, should fall. The rest of Singapore is here. I don't like this engage. This is very dangerous.
Yeah, they had to take it out there. And right now, they're doing a good job still keeping those lanes clean. And man, Thailand really loves this bush. I've seen them kill so many teams from that same bush.
It's their favorite murder bush. There's the bush from Moss.
Murder bush?
Yeah, that's what you call it when it's a bush. Yeah, it's a murderous bush.
Well, here we go. They're still trying to defend Abyssal Dragon again going to Thailand.
Tainted ones in the front line. Oh, that's a wall. Can't run through that.
He tried. He tried to use his super speed to phase through, but it just didn't work that time.
Faulty technology. Sometimes you just need to turn it off, turn it back on again.
Shot coming in underneath the tower again, but no one around for it. Singapore, great space in that time. Tainted caught up a little bit front. Espresso trying to displace, and they get one of them. But Mars is down.
Moss might be in trouble. He's taking a lot of tower shots there. Singapore can't really go for this fight, though, and that is showing. The Ryu ultimate chews them up and spits them out. Espresso needs to play behind the tower.
Yeah, finally, the happiness coming out from A13 to get everyone out of there with that speed boost. But Thailand looking good right now.
Friendship, happiness, sunshine.
Friendship, happiness, sunshine. It's all the good things from Alice.
I really like that. And the hissy fit.
Yeah, that's what she's upset.
I believe it. There's the shot going through.
She's gonna get her midday nap.
Espresso needs to hold the lane. Hissy fit just as we speak of it. I don't think it's enough, but he gets the trade. Moss goes down. Cherry may be in trouble. That is big.
Yeah, Zaze is starting to do a lot of damage right now. And look at Remix up at the top lane, pushing over the high ground tower. Oh my damage! The Cyclone not gonna reach. She's out of there.
That's enough, though. All Singapore
He's so fast, he's chasing. He wants that Mach Punch.
Flash is actually weirdly slow at just moving around the map. He's a sprinter, not a marathon runner. Yeah. But that's enough. Singapore just needed a reprieve, time to reset. They're looking to extend this game to the 14-15 minute mark where the gold and level becomes capped out for both teams and it starts to be possible to turn these fights around.
Yeah, right now they're still cleaning up the jungle side, keeping the lane pressure on. But Thailand, look at them. They haven't lost a single tower yet.
No. They've got low HP in that top lane tower, but Singapore have never really managed to get a ton of pressure through. And if you remember, they were behind on towers almost the entire game that they won last time. Thailand are exceptionally good at that map control.
Oh, looks like that cult coming out, trying to hit Cherry with it. But man, it's looking rough. Here comes Thailand, though. They are starting to move into that top jungle. And they're going in on Dusk, maybe? No.
He pops the Cull ultimate, just get
out of there.
It's like a reverse Thor's hammer.
Yeah, but look at that. They're going to go and try to get the Slayer now. And Singapore aware of it. They're going to come challenge.
Oh, this could be dangerous. The shot comes out. That will be a full push. Cyclone comes through. Cherry may be in trouble. Memarks is rebuffed. Tainted ones, Neg 1-3, take the lead. Espresso is already down, though. And I don't think that's happening for Singapore.
No, sir. They're in full retreat right now. And look at this. They're still trying to catch him off guard, though. And Flashy might have overextended that time, but he's going to go down because of it. This is not looking good. And Thailand now, what are they going to do with this advantage? They've got 3 down from Singapore.
They should take a tower and then return to that Slayer. That's what I want to see. Pick up the tower, back off, return to the Slayer.
Yeah, Hissy Fit's going to keep Remix off of that tower, but the top high ground tower is still available for them. And this one is going to drop for sure.
It's dropping like Jenga when I play it.
Every single time you play?
Not very good at Jenga.
Oh man, making 2 high ground towers.
Really bad at Jenga.
This is the Thailand that we're used to seeing. You caught me off guard there. You're really bad at Jenga, huh?
Very. They'll be able to fall back now, and Thailand, this is where you maybe convert to the Slayer if they're feeling confident, if they're still maybe a little bit worried about this Singapore team.
I think they're going to bait it. Looks like they want to bait that Slayer. It worked for them last time, actually. Just by starting it, turned into a bait.
Well, you have to
Oh, yeah, here we go. I think I've seen one of these videos before. It's a
World
Star.
This is unfair.
Oh, my God. Espresso, are you going to survive this? You better run for your life.
You can't run. He's big. He's got big bones.
The Cyclone Stain is going to drop as well. Last chance here for Dusk. It's not looking good, though. Thailand looking to close out the game. Now 1 left, and that'll be the ace. Thailand looking to win game 2.
That should be the series tied up. The fact remains, we are likely going to a game 3 in Singapore versus Thailand, and game number 2 went all the way. This is 13 minutes, 14 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, this is beautiful stuff. Thailand, this is the Thailand that was the #1 seed. That first game fooling around, they're still not smiling over there. But, you know, they're feeling much better about that victory for sure.
A little bit of a grimace accompanying the fist bump.
Oh, yeah.
Super strong fist bump, I assume. But the point is, Singapore don't need to win this set to cause an upset. They already have. The pressure is off for Singapore, I think. You've done what you came here to do. You've demonstrated you're here to play. Yes, beating the #1 seed in the tournament would be nice, but it doesn't absolutely need to happen.
It doesn't need to happen, but they're in good position still to make it happen. Let's take a look at the scorecard here. Man, look at Jameco, the Necrot 8-0-8. That's pretty darn good. When was he doing all that?
All the time, apparently. Constantly. It's a full-time job.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff overall. Mamarks, again, man, he's a solid pick no matter what character he's on.
I'd like to actually talk, if we can, about Zays. He was the Lindis last game, and we saw him find so much value. Now on Slims, he struggles a bit more. He still hits about 25% of his team's damage, but that's not really what you want from a marksman. And if you look at his KD, it's very different from game #1.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Tainted ones, though. That's a good flash.
Very good flash, and he's been a good flash for both games so far. He's kind of the only one who's got his champ, though, right? This was that first blood of the game, right? Like, Remix, where you going? Give me that first blood. That was on Tainted, too.
Yeah, Jerry, he like, tried to get back, but that was the power of Arduin. This is the power of stuns. So much from Singapore, what we've seen is just constant use of stuns to succeed. When those are denied, or even more, when you see the CC come through and it's not enough, that's when Thailand's still winning the fights.
Yeah, I mean, Zenial has been a really good pick to counter all the stuns too, right? Because the stuns come in, Zenial, he's like using his Angelic Splendor, he's diving in to protect them. So it's been a really good counter to the stuns because they haven't been able to get much damage after it.
Yeah, it's very combo focused, which means they're, instead of being a 2-minute team fight, there are like 10 seconds of that team fight that really matter.
Right.
Luckily, the Zenial ultimate is long enough that you can, during that entire combo that should save or lose the team fight, interrupt it, provide damage reduction, and a heal afterwards.
Gotcha. So what do you think Singapore's actually got to do here? In terms of the pick and ban phase coming up, right? It's going to be so crucial because that really determined how Game 1 and Game 2 went.
I'd actually kind of like them to swap off of the Slims.
Swap off of the Slims.
Yes, and not just because I can't keep his name straight,
Yeah.
but mostly because I really don't believe in the Slims as a damage-dealing character. The primary value comes from that extra stun, and we weren't seeing too much use from that. Lindis doesn't have a lot in the way of stuns. There's a slow on entrapment.
Right.
But the primary focus of Lindis is doing absurd amounts of damage. So in the next draft phase for Singapore, swap Zays away from the kind of trick character and maybe pull out the Violet.
Violet. I'd like to see a Liliana in the game, period. No one's getting it banned. No one's picking it.
Yeah, that's been strange. Flash is arguably a better mage than Liliana. It's many teams consider him to be one of the best mages. But when it's picked, the fact that we saw Raz come through was kind of interesting from Thailand. And the Raz was good.
It was okay.
Okay, well, you clearly have higher standards. Game #3. We're getting right into the drafting phase. Singapore versus Thailand. It should not have gone this long.
It may, I don't know. I don't know if it should not have. I think Thailand deserved it. Game 1, those picks that they threw out there, I mean, maybe they're trying to win the most creative comp award, but look, they deserve that loss. And if that loss comes back to haunt them, I'd be all for it. And look at this again. Singapore banning that Grat immediately. Thailand again sticking with the Superman ban.
That would be the spookiest haunting.
Which haunting?
If you are haunted by the fact that you picked Zuka, there'd just be a giant panda in your house at all times.
Dun dun dun.
I'd be terrified. The Grak ban comes through again, staying there. They just really don't want to see Moss on it.
Who did they ban last time? I wonder if we're going to see a Zenial ban. That's what I'm really curious. From Singapore?
Well, they have first pick again.
You think they're going to pick it?
Well, this gets
armband
interesting.
comes out, yeah?
Lindis didn't get through the pick ban phase because they banned it. They didn't want to see it on Thailand. This time, they have the capacity to pick it up, run it on their own team.
Right. And I think we might see that. I don't think Thailand's going to ban it. I think Singapore is going to try to pick up that Lindis first pick.
And that gives them an extra ban to work with, so you can see a Zenial ban here.
I see. Let's see what Singapore decides to go with. Man, this is a crucial decision for them.
Thailand still not focusing on any respect bans. It's Superman and Omen still out.
Yeah, they've done it every single time. And the third ban for them on this last time was Teamy, which caused them so much problems in that first game. So I expect to see the Teamy ban come out. And there's the Zenial ban from Singapore. All right. So if you're Moss now, what are you thinking? You're thinking maybe Alice? Those are 3 of his supports right there.
Yeah,
Moss. And then maybe Alice after that, right? So if they get the Alice first pick, that would be kind of huge, right? What are you going to put Moss on? Zuka again?
I put more focus on the Lindis than really annoying Moss, but I also respect the effort
Lindis
to
is
really
banned.
annoy a specific player. Oh yeah, you're right. The
Thailand
Lindis comes through.
Final ban goes to Lindis. So now does El Espresso pick up? Oh, they want the teamie.
Teamie's more important.
Oh yeah,
I agree. The teamie is so powerful because of what we saw it provide. Now, they don't really need to worry. You were talking about what Moss was going to pick. They don't need to worry about picking the Alice because there is already basically a dedicated support on Singapore. Teamie Alice would be weird.
What if they stack it? Just stack it, just to take it off Moss.
Okay, I'm in. Sign me up. Yes.
Right?
Absolutely, because I've seen weird stuff, such as Singapore taking game 1, so I'm entirely down for whatever they think will work.
I wonder if they're considering it right now. They're like, you know, we have this opportunity. Do we want to take it?
I want to...
Did Thailand pick the Irie because...
Yeah. Do you think that is still a target pick?
I think it is.
I really like that, if so. Thailand's having to show some respect. That Malak coming through instantly as well. Crixie, no.
It's not locked in
That's
just
illegal.
yet.
Thank you. The Max comes through. That would make a little bit more sense. Crixie.
This would be so different for Singapore.
I like the Crixie.
Crixie's locked in, all right.
Because it's a big damage mage. We've seen them kind of lacking damage that last time. It still has the CC that they were really enjoying. But more importantly, I think it takes it away from their opposition.
Right, but I think Mamark's going to probably switch up to like Liliana.
Yeah, there are infinite good mages still in the field, including Flash.
That's a good point. You think they're going to take it away from Tainted?
Well, Tainted presumably is playing the Crixie, unless there's some really weird stuff happening. You can run Flash in the jungle. It has been tried somewhat successfully. The Violet I was calling for will be picked up. That's the major marksman taken out. I'm wondering if you then go... I don't actually know, because you don't have a melee jungle either in the Irie. That was what they were looking for. But you can't run the Irie because it's been picked. You can't run the Violet because it's been picked.
Is it going to be Batman time?
No, I hope not. I'm really not a fan of the Batman.
Why aren't you a fan of Batman?
Okay, I like his movies.
Yeah, he's the Dark Knight.
And his television show
Invisible for like 30 seconds? That sounds great.
Don't like his in-game appearance.
All right, fine. Murad, how you feel about that?
That's good. I can go for some Murad.
All right.
You know, especially after a long day of work.
Is it like a cocktail? What is that?
I like to think it's a food.
All right, I'm
Delicacy.
Murad. Delicacy. Dessert?
Probably. The big thing...
I'm liking the sound of it now.
The big thing about Murad is his temporal turbulence. What he can do is he can do big AoE damage around an area.
And you can't hit him.
Yeah, he's completely invulnerable for that time. So, if you get that Murad farmed well, and he's able to just dump the AoE into a team fight, you win the team fight.
Well, let's see. They're going to lock in the Lubu. And is it going to be Murad? It is! Singapore.
I'm excited.
Teamy, Max, Crixie, Lubu,
this is a
and
good
Murad.
draft. This is a genuinely great draft from Singapore. Thailand also have a good one. I don't think either of these teams are disappointed with what they've come out with.
This is crazy.
This is exciting. This is everything I want from a Game 3. Both teams should be comfortable, and both teams should be ready to take the entire set.
I'm imagining Crixie gets in trouble, Max comes flying in, all of a sudden they're both about to die, Teamy's got his ulti there, everyone comes back to life. It's going to be a rough game for Thailand.
We're really seeing that rouse again from the Marks.
I mean, look at them. They're in deep concentration right now. This is such a crucial pick for them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is potentially like $200,000 on the line, right? This last pick.
They'd be expected to get out in second place still.
Maybe.
With the victory they've already secured over North America.
Is that how that works? What if it's a three-way tie?
I think it's on game wins, in which point this becomes interesting.
Right?
Because they just lost a game they really should not have lost.
Right.
We're going to definitely keep our eye on this group. This suddenly became so much more interesting than the assumed victor. Singapore, when they came in, everyone thought they had absolutely no shot because they did, like we've talked about, probably too much.
Right.
They didn't even qualify. They're the replacement team for Clutch Guild. So the fact that they come here and look this good, even if they don't win this set, changes everything. North America have got to be watching this and shaking in their cowboy boots.
I don't know if they're shaking or if they're smiling really big. I feel like if they see Singapore taking out Thailand, they're like, all right, we got a chance to still come out #1 in this group.
Depends how confident they feel against Singapore, I suppose.
Right.
They have the advantage that Thailand doesn't have. Nobody knew what Singapore would play going into this. Now you have 2 games of VODs.
Exactly.
You better study them.
You've got to study. Definitely Singapore was doing the homework yesterday.
I like Thailand pulling out the Raz again, a little bit out of meta, definitely a viable character and definitely a good one last game. But consistently Thailand are, I don't know if experimenting is the right word or just playing to what they're super comfortable on regardless of the meta.
Right.
And that's nice to see.
And man, Singapore looking focused right now. Important game 3 incoming for the series.
He's cracking his neck.
Yeah, and Thailand, I mean, they came in here all smiles. They got real serious after that first game.
Real serious.
And now they're back into it. This is an important game. And here we go. Final game of the series. It's going to be Thailand versus Singapore.
Game number 1 of 4 today. And it's been a massive upset that it's gotten this far. But we are here. Singapore already. They started off strong last game. And this is a lot of pressure. This is scuba diving again.
Oh, yeah. They're going deep. And, of course, look at them. Man, they want that invade. They want that might very early. And you see that on the same thing from the other side, Thailand going to take theirs as well.
Yeah, the question in situations like this is which team is able to either slow down the farm enough that they come out on top economically or pick up a kill as a gank.
Right, and right now they're both just rotating through each other's jungles, putting on some early lane pressure.
I like the Crixie oftentimes with lower mobility mages. You see the Crixie actually stick with the jungle invade team because they're more at risk if they're hovering in mid. Because individual players can come out and knock them around, burn them down because they don't have the mobility to get away.
And you see that teammate coming out to join that Crixie now.
He's waiting. He's hiding in the bush because he knows he can come out and help find a good combo, especially with that Pooty Poot stun you just saw deployed.
Yeah, the Pooty Poot. Beautiful name.
It is, really. I love yelling in the middle of team fights. It makes me feel so serious.
Oh, big engage down in mid right now, though.
That could be massive, like we say. The Pooty Poots comes through, stuns out Memark, slows down the fight.
Oh my damage.
But Moss, we've been hyping him up all day long and a little bit of yesterday as well. That's why.
Yeah, beautiful sunshine there. His stun's always on point. And look at this. Now they're going to rotate over towards that bot lane. Take some more farm pass because that Abyssal Dragon's coming up in just 11 seconds.
The Lubu waiting, watching, peeping. He just got tagged. They know he's there. Oh!
Singapore, they're well aware.
He stole that! That was an impale through the wall, perfectly timed.
He knows what he's doing out there.
Well, he was peeping for so long, I should hope so. Abyssal Dragon will be started. There's the pressure from Zays. You can see already that Temporal Turbulence farmed up. He wants to get to it to 4 charges
reset.
before
Look
the
at the
starts.
knockup. Nature's Wrath coming out from Tainted. Doing great work there to stop Thailand from that engage.
Good reset. Force from Thailand, they're terrified that goes through. The Abyssal Dragon gets picked up and they don't get a word in edgewise. From Singapore, they're terrified that fight goes on and they lose it. So both teams just backing off, and I'm sure both teams are pleased with it.
Yeah, without a doubt. And still, you see them kind of resetting back to middle here. Not really a lot of pressure going on. You see the top laners having to back. Both of them were very low in life.
The difference is, of course, Dusk with his max ultimate liftoff can return to the fight instantly. Well, slower
slowly
than instantly. Steadily.
Steadily. I like steadily.
Oh, this is kind of why that Raz is so powerful in lane versus Crixie. I think I understand. If you're able to drop that explosive KO, the Rising Uppercut combo, pick people up, knock them back, drag them back underneath the tower, out of position, especially versus a low mobility Crixie, that can turn into stuff.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, the other counter pick we saw to Crixie earlier was a flash, you know, just in and out, get your poke in with the Mach Punch. So that seems to be the answer. Yes, there was a lot of Crixie. I think today we're going to see a lot of counters to Crixie.
And that's good. The team's adapting on the fly at a World Cup like this. Every team is watching every game.
And see Max and Irie going back and forth up here.
Pressure around the Abyssal. Both teams looking for an opportunity to engage. Moss gets tagged back.
Oh boy,
there's
shot
the
coming in. Tane is in big trouble. He's going to be
already gone.
Yeah,
deleted.
He's in big trouble too. He's not even level 4, so he doesn't even have his ulti. He's going to go down as well.
Zays will be able to reset, backing out, as Murads do. That's dangerous and scary, but he's able to just kind of stay alive. Thailand, that's a major fight to win, though, because it gives them that all-important, the crucial first Abyssal.
Right, first Abyssal and first blood. A lot of extra gold on Thailand's side. Now they're going to also try to convert that into this bottom lane tower. El Espresso is there. Can he stop them from taking this tower, though, is the question. He's got that Lubu. He's not going to be able to do anything. That tower is going to fall.
Crumbling. And now the pressure comes through again. That's going to be dangerous with the Hissy Fit stun combo. None of the Singapore members really want to hang out there for long.
No, sir. They're all backing out. They're rotating. But you can see Thailand keeping that pressure in that jungle, finally moving it back to the middle lane.
Thailand want this mid lane pressure. They want a tower quite badly. If we can, I'd like to take a look back at that first blood.
Sure.
Because,
oh, God.
Yeah,
the
Tainted Ones. Completely isolated. A little thing a lot of people don't know is that impact crater from Crush applies a slow, or shock rather, applies a slow every time you go through it, even long after the ability's been spent.
Entering or exiting the circle.
Yes. Oh, this is dangerous.
Oh, yeah, huge. And Dusk in huge trouble now. Hissif is going to come down just to secure it. Remix gets the kill.
Sunset.
Sunset?
It's over. Dusk.
Wow. Very nice.
It's deep. I know. Alexpresso will push elsewhere on the map. He's going to be able to grab this tower.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this game, I mean, he's doing a good work to the tower. This is what Singapore needs, right? They need to at least trade the towers because you know Thailand's the best at taking the towers.
Oh, this is a shot coming through. Cherry, he wants that tower. He heard what you're saying. He's like, really? We are?
Wait a second.
Let's
Are we
go.
the best at this? Yeah, we are the best.
The problem is, the rest of Singapore are here, and they're trying to play defense. Slow down this take, even with just a little bit of poke. I think they know they can't hold it.
Oh, my gosh. They can't even hold their own jungle right now. Espresso going to fall to Remix.
This is good from Thailand. Exactly what you expect from this team. Gain complete control of the jungle and keep the pressure on.
And they're not stopping. They're continuing their path down this top lane. They're just smothering Max right now. And right now, Zay's having to come over to help out. It's going to be 4-man for Thailand coming down this top lane. Can they take it out? Hissif it out just to keep him out of the way, but there's no wave behind him.
Oh, that was a narrow recall. Mimarks peeking into the bush. Was there anyone here? Narrowly. Not quite.
Rotating their way back to mid now. Can they also push here and get this tower? Tained's in the way. He's going to have that Mitchip out there to help clear the lane. Got Teamy behind him.
That Teamy will now have the Being a Bro ultimate, the first real team fight, which it will be relevant in. And that was so lethal. The problem is, though, this gold lead, 3,000 currently, it's about to get bigger.
Oh, yeah, much bigger indeed. 16.4 to 12.9 now. It's like a 3,500 goal lead in favor of Thailand. Plus, they've got the 4 kills to 0 lead. They're looking good right now.
Here's the shock. They want the tower. Nice temporal turbulence. Zay stays alive. There's the poke as well. Liftoff is coming through. Surely you don't commit to that, Dusk.
No, sir.
He thinks better of it, but they still find pressure.
Yeah, well, very well done there. That's the first good engage from Singapore to at least stop the pressure from Thailand.
And that's what we need, a better look from Singapore where they're managing to establish a foothold on the map, slow down the game for a moment and come back into it later.
Exactly. It's not over till it's over. And right now, Lulu chunking Remix. Yeah, it's not over till it's over.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere before.
Somewhere.
There's the pressure still in the mid
From
lane.
a movie?
Baby. Pressure in the mid lane from Tainted One. Still, you can see the power of that Crixie lane clear, because that's the only lane that hasn't lost any damage.
Right.
Or tower HP.
Of course. And you can see Remix here still keeping that pressure down in the bot lane. In the top lane, the wave is pushed all the way up to that second tier tower.
Boss is having a bad time.
Oh, yeah, he's having a real bad time. And, oh, my God, still living, though?
It's a good time.
Jeez, Louise, the shot comes in and Tainted. Having to back out of it, gets the knockup, and a little bit of mischief behind it as well.
If Dusk wants it, he could have Liftoff powered right into the back of that fight. He decided not to, and as a result, Moss will survive with very low HP. The way he did was by dropping the Hissy Fit and standing right in the middle of it for an absurdly long time. That made it difficult for Tainted One with the shorter range of Crixie to really find damage on him.
That's a great point. And man, this bottom lane battle has been so back and forth for a whole lot of nothing, right? They're just keeping the minions in place.
Well, Remix found something in that first tower, and speaking of, here's the mid lane tower again under threat.
Yeah, Hissifit again, slowing down everyone, making them take more damage. Look at Zay getting chunked by Violet. Oh my goodness, Jamco putting in work now.
That was absurd.
That was like Half-Life.
No, that's a different thing. But the point is, that was still an absurd amount of damage in the mid lane.
Oh my goodness, things are not looking good right now for Singapore. Things are really falling apart here. And now the top lane pressure is happening. Espresso, another shot coming in, pops them all up.
Stun combo to stop Cherry. Tainted Ones is there, but the tower's already fallen, and they have no way out.
Exploding.
2 reses, though. They'll both be back. Never mind. One of them will be back.
I mean, they both came back. They didn't stay back.
Bringing literal meaning to the phrase short-lived.
Yes, very short-lived indeed. And now Remix pushing pressure, getting the bottom tower as well. Thailand just rolling through right now. 8-1-3. You got to get out of there, boy. You got it, but no!
He can't. There's nowhere to go. And El Espresso is left standing alone amid the corpses of his teammates.
And Thailand just rotating tower after tower now. We got one. Let's get another one. High ground tower. We got one of those too. How about the one in the middle? Can we get this one too? Why not? We're Thailand. That's what we do.
They're collecting them, and they've got a rare one. That's a good combo. Shock into Hissy Fit.
They've done it multiple times in this game so far.
Completely slows down the fight. You can't stand in either of those to end up in a situation where you're just watching your tower go down, maybe with a set of binoculars.
Yeah, and look at this. Another high ground tower potentially going to go down here. Should be just one more hit, but they do get it. And now Singapore trying to...
Oh my God. Marks, what are you doing? That is unfair. There will be 2 resurrections, but neither stays for long. And Singapore is left with 2 players up and 30-second respawns. This should be game number 3 in favor of Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand taking their time. It's only Tainted, the Cricks in there, but they're going to go in on Tainted right now. And is he going to survive this?
This is silly.
I mean, they're just playing with them right now. Thailand.
Just hit the base.
Yeah, there you go. The core is down. Thailand going to take the set 2-1 over Singapore. Great showing by Singapore, though. The wild cards, no one expected much out of them, but boy, did they make this interesting.
Very, very impressed by Singapore. Yes, they lost, but no, they did not do so in nearly the manner we expected them to. They end that set, yes, looking defeated, but they should be very proud of what they achieved.
Yeah, they brought out the human side of Thailand pros. We've seen them full of smiles the entire time so far, but this is the first time we saw them have some doubt on their faces.
And I liked to see that. They fooled around and they were reminded you may be the #1 seed coming into this tournament, but that does not mean that you can take any of these games lightly.
And there you see it. The sportsmanship all around, man, that was an incredible way to start off day 2 here at the Arena Valor World Cup 2018.
We have 3 more games!
We got 3 more games! And man, the last one tonight is still going to be a doozy.
Yes!
Every game is probably going to be better than we expect. Here is the score recap, though, if you want to take a look at it. Look at the board. That is ridiculous. Nobody died over on Thailand's side. 0-11. That's a pretty solid
Thailand.
game.
That is Thailand's Arena of Valor, and I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, Cherry getting the MVP this round.
I like Jamco as well in the jungle. We highlighted him maybe as a place to expect pressure to force him to falter. This last game, he really stepped up 25% of his team's damage, didn't die once, an overwhelming majority of the kills.
Yeah, well done to Thailand. Looking back at some of the replays here, that was the first blood on Tainted there with that shot. And then you see the teammate trying to retreat, trying to get out of there, but he doesn't have his ultimate yet, so he's going to fall as well. Double kill for Sherry to start things off.
And it all kind of continued from there. The fact that Thailand secured that first Abyssal and the gold lead gave them so much to work with for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and then once they got to this point, it was over. I mean, this was only like, what, a 10, 11, 12-minute game? It was a very quick game. They rolled over all the towers so quick once they gained momentum, and then they would always have the kill lead. Oh boy, it was hard to watch after a certain point.
Thailand, I think, more relief than anything on their faces.
Oh yeah.
That was a reality check, like we said, but also very interesting if you're the other team in this group or if you're a fan of it. North America has some things to watch.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That's going to be a game that I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I mean, Singapore versus North America, it's destined to happen. It's set up to happen. That's how the groups work. It's going to happen. Who do you think's got that? Man, I can't even think about it.
I have to say America, right?
You've got to say America, but what's actually going to happen, you know?
I can't say that on stream.
It's going to be close.
I have a Twitter account. I don't want to lose it. Singapore has no chance. America's got it, I'm sure. Stars and stripes and all that.
Yeah, that was a fantastic showing there by Singapore to start things off. But Thailand showing everyone why they are the #1 seed, still undefeated in best-of-3 series here at the World Cup.
Technically, I still rank that first game as one of the most exciting games to date and a major upset.
So looks like we're actually going to send it over to Matt. He's got an interview with the winner right now.
Rip, TJ, thank you very much. Yes, what a great tournament this is going to be. We had so much fun on day 1, and that game shows why Arena of Valor is so exciting right now. What a contest. Thailand win it. Thailand are through to the quarterfinals. 2 wins out of 2 in the group. They are our first confirmed quarterfinalist. But Remix, I have to ask you about that amazing series. First question I want to know, Arthur pick in the first game. Are we going for the Creative Comp Award here, which is one of the things we have at this World Cup? Are we going for the Creative Comp Award? Were you trolling Singapore? What was going on? Why an Arthur pick?
เขาถามว่าทำไมเกมแรกครับถึงเลือกมอร์ตอสมาแบบเราแบบลองคอมใหม่หรือว่าเราแบบแค่เล่นๆเฉยๆอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
ก็เราลองแผนครับผมเพราะว่ามอร์ทอสก็เป็นฮีโร่ที่แข็งแกร่งอีกตัวหนึ่งเราคิดว่ามันเก่งครับผมมันสามารถเล่นได้ก็เลยเอามาใช้ครับ
So it's actually they are trying a new strategy because in their game plan they actually practice with Mortos Arthur sorry Arthur is actually a strong heroes and they think they can play Arthur yeah that's why
I know a lot of people were watching and thinking, what are you doing picking Arthur? And Zuka as well. Zuka worked out quite well. Arthur, maybe less so. Be exciting to see whether he comes back again for Thailand. How did they feel after they lost that first game to Singapore? Was that a shock for them?
เขาถามว่าเกมแรกครับหลังจากที่แพ้สิงคโปร์รู้สึกยังไงแบบช็อกไหมอะไรอย่างงี้
ก็ตกใจนิดนึงครับเพราะว่าเราไม่คิดว่าเราจะแพ้อะไรเงี้ยแต่เราคิดว่าเราจะตามนิดนึงแต่ไม่คิดว่าจะแพ้เขาเป็นทีมที่แข็งแกร่งอีกทีมนึงเลยครับผม
so a little surprised because even though they're in the losing side they think that they can make a comeback but in the end they still lose because Singapore is actually a pretty strong team as well yeah
and a difficult team to prepare for because you didn't have any videos that you could look at compared to other teams. So I need to know, you're through to the quarterfinals. One other team from Group A will get through to the quarterfinals as well. It will be North America or Singapore who are going to play tomorrow. Remix, who do you think is going to make it out of this group? Who's going to win between North America and Singapore?
เขาถามว่าพรุ่งนี้ครับที่แข่งคิดว่าทีมไหนชนะระหว่างอเมริกากับสิงคโปร์สำหรับเรา
ก็2ทีมนี้เป็นทีมที่เก่งครับมันเดาได้ยากครับถ้าผมคิดว่าน่าจะเป็นเจ้าบ้านครับอเมริกาเหนือครับ
So he said that both teams are a really great team. It's quite hard to predict which team is going to come out on top. Yeah. But in his own opinion, he thinks North America is going to take this.
North America instead of Singapore. We will find out. We will find out. Remix, congratulations. You're through to the quarterfinals.